That's what we have to do. I fight every day of my life because I do film and television. Every time I walk in the producer's office, they say, well, who you got? What name you got? I can't get Margaret in there. Margaret is the biggest name that I know. I have to fight for Margaret Avery. I have to fight for Teddy. I'm getting ready to do a TV show and I'm fighting for Teddy to do some directing. We have to fight. We have to fight for each other. And I fight every day of my fucking life for every one of y'all.
Bring whatever your DNA is, whatever God gives you, that's sufficient. You don't need anything else but who you are. That's the stuff that sells.
You know why you didn't get that? He says because in the name of the star, she felt we would be too strong. And so on that note, you gotta remember what he was saying. Have faith in you. Because that actress, nobody, I mean, she's gone into obscurity now. But I bet you my people know who I
am. Success is an inside job. It's about self-definition. You know, acting is what I do, it's not who I am.
Yep.
We have to know that. Additionally, we have to remember, my grandmother used to have a phrase, she used to say that be decent people's children. I think that we, in a very human way, forget because we always want to be so theatrical. I think we forget about what it means to be fundamentally decent and how that can cause you to have tremendous inroads into places. You have a quality of talent that can be very high, it can be very basic. But if someone reads a decency in you in a room, people have been hired because, you know one thing, person didn't work well, somebody may have done a little better in the room for my taste, but this person I think I want to spend 6 weeks with.
You want to work with them.
And whether it's in the theater or any other medium, and that's what it's about in real terms, and defining self. You know, don't let the topography or the terra firma of Los Angeles cripple you. It's an industry. So you have to take self-definition as you function within an industry.
I think about when I got out of college in the 70s, went to New York, 74 whatever, and on the heels of the civil rights era, and there were all these writers. It was like another Renaissance. And there were all these writers, you know that period. There was Richard Wesley, there was Oyama, there was Ed Bullitt's, there was, you know, and I can remember doing plays in a day, rehearsing one play, going to some place and doing a play that evening, and there was all of this activity and a variety of voices, and there was all of this energy of these people finding a voice and a power that they never had, and artists coming out of schools segueing right into this whole movement, and that's what I don't see now. I don't see how young people, I don't see a community of artists. I don't see a theater that's supported institutionally anywhere, you know. And I don't know what to tell young people who come to me and say, how do I get started? Because it was quite easy for me, because this revolution was in place, and these people were this energy was there, and I just sort of stepped into it. Now we have singular voices. It's either the Chitlin circuit, or one writer that's being produced in the institutional theater, or we don't have a variety of voices. So to me the question is, how do we build the black theater?
And I have the voice of Africa in me, and I'm dying to give it out.
Excellent.
And what I'm looking for is actors and producers and theater companies who are willing to do new work, because seriously, I've done Hamlet, I played Estrada, I'm tired. I want to do, I'm serious, I'm tired. I want to do the voices of my people. I want to give, because Africa, you all know what's happening. The culture is fading. We are the only ones who can hold it. It's not only my legacy, it's yours.
That's right.
I wanted to get into class because like my auditions were just bombing. But instead of me getting into class, I decided to go to the theater. I said that would be the best move. And thank God I ended up understudying across with this brilliant actor here. And when I tell you about giving back, he gave me so much I would go home with a headache. And this was just being an understudy. Sanashi was in it also, and it was just being around brilliant actors and not sitting there for like an hour with an actor that couldn't get a job that's making me pay $100, and Miss Shirley Jo Finney directed it. Now, I ask you this question. When I sit across from a brilliant actor like that, and I learn so much, and I sit and I talk to a brilliant man and brilliant actor like Mr. Randy T. Brown, and I learn so much, how is it that I have to dumb that down when I go in a room and it's Neo here, and no disrespect, and another rapper here, and I'm going in there as this actor who's just left this brilliance, but the director is saying, he's good, but he might overshadow the lead. So we can't go with him. We're going to have to go with the dancers.
But I expect you to come in and push my lead actor to another level.
Yes.
That's your responsibility. So I mean, for me, I don't, you know, and if I see it, and see that's the type of teaching that I hear. People say, oh, the TV box is this. And I have actors come in and they come into audition and I'm talking like this because you got it. I'm like, well, wait, hold. Stop. Talk to me. Let me hear you. I'm just saying, no, you don't dumb it down. You challenge them. And because if you dumb it down, that's what they're going to see, and that's what they're going to remember the next time. Exactly what Ted said. When you walk on that lot, if you walk on dumb, and that's what they're going to remember. But when they sit there and say, hey, who was that actor who was just kicking ass the other day? That's what you want them to remember. And I'm not talking about going overboard or anything. I'm talking about acting and playing the scene. Because I also see actors who try to go someplace else, and you say, wait a second, that ain't the script. Just give me the damn part.
This city will chew you up. You have to know who you are, and you have to know that when you go in and do an interview, you do your best, and then let it go.
There are ways. We cannot depend on the establishment to help us. We have to figure out, and you do it. That's the way that's my system that I came up with. There may be another system for you, but you have to think of, how do I get this out? Start with readings, everybody dressed in black, you know, and then you do a reading where you say, well, look, I want everybody to memorize it, and it starts to gain momentum. And then people hear about it and they want to help. And then what happens, hopefully, is you move it on to the next level, because people start to chip in things when they hear something, because they all want to be a part of something that they think is good.
First of all, not only do these men and these ladies here, not only do they give back, they give forward. And the reality of it is, we can't ever presume that someone is to take up the cross of your mission. People are functioning in their purpose in many instances. You may catch a person at an ill-timed moment, but at the end of the day, you cannot take that. It's basically like you can go on audition and you don't get a job. I have never, ever been rejected. They've hired other people.
And we saw a lot of actors, and I would say 90% of them came in, stood there in a spot, and just started talking. I said, what is that? Where you coming from? Who are you? Did you read the sign? Give me something. Damn. You know? I mean, really, work on craft. And it's not, and that is not about black or white. That's just about being an artist.